Most people live their life like it is happening to them, constantly reacting to circumstances and hoping things will get better. What if I told you reality has cheat codes and they've been around for thousands of years, hidden in plain sight on purpose? Today, I'm going to break down the 7 Hermetic Principles, the cheat codes of the reality that we live in, so you can start using them in your life and create whatever reality you choose. I first learned about the Hermetic Principles a few years ago when I read the book, The Kabbalion. And what I really took away from this ancient wisdom is what modern day physics and spirituality and law of attraction are all teaching based on these principles. And since now you're going to learn these 7 cheat codes, you can actually start playing the game of life and winning it. What I'm telling you, meaning you can understand how you created your current circumstances, but even better, how to create the reality you actually want in your health, your business, relationships, and more. So let's dive in and get started. The first Hermetic principle is mentalism. It means all is mind. So here's what this means. Consciousness is all there is. Think of your mind as the projector. Whatever you can vividly imagine and internally experience, you are projecting onto the scene of your life. And until you understand that life is first and foremost mental, most people spend their life out there trying to change the external rather than going to the cause. So this is where we have to start. You have to understand mentalism, all is mind. The second principle is correspondence. And this states, as within, so without. It also says, as above, so below. The microcosm and the macrocosm. Simply stated, your life is a projection of that internal state of being. Your life is a mirror. It's only mirroring. And again, kind of with mentalism, most people spend their life trying to change the external. It would be like facing a mirror and smudging the reflection rather than just changing the image. And when you get this, that I am projecting everything, that life is only a reflection of who I am being, my internal state, that when I change, my outer reality changes, that life is out picturing who I am being. So before I go on to the next few principles, this is where I want to bring in the idea of identity. Your identity is creating your reality. And that's why, with my coaching clients especially, we go to the root cause. If you don't change who you are being, if you don't change your mental, emotional states, if you don't change your habits, what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting new results. Again, it's like facing that mirror and smudging it, wanting a different out picture. But when you change the cause, when you change identity, which is these first 2 principles, everything in your life changes. If you want to fast track where you are to the life you could be living, I invite you to apply for one-on-one coaching. You can click on the link below in the description. Also visit my website, heatherhakes.com. So let's get back to these principles. The third principle is vibration, and it states, nothing rests. Everything is always moving. We live in 3D, the third dimension of reality, but quantum physics teaches us. Quantum physics studies subatomic particles, meaning everything that we perceive is 99.999% empty space, and we can only perceive less than 1% of matter. Although things look solid, I look solid, your phone looks solid, chairs look solid, nothing is solid. Everything is vibrating, everything is moving. And based on your state of being, your identity, you emit a vibration, you emit a frequency. So I want you to think of this like a radio station. All stations are currently playing, but the station that you can tune into is based on the dial you are set to. So let's say, for example, you're on 93.3 financially broke, health isn't great, relationships are in a rut, you're kind of going through the motions. But the life you could be living, happy, successful, abundant, fulfilled, is on station 101.1. Those are two different vibrations, two different frequencies. So how do you, knowing these principles, tune to a new station? You are the dial. Your vibration is the dial, and your vibration is made up of three things. Based on your identity, it's your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits, your actions. These three things create your state of being. Your state of being is what you vibrate, as within, so without. So the frequency you put out, you can only attract, and this is kind of the idea of law of attraction, like attracts like, totally true. Based on what you are vibrating, what you are emitting, your frequency, you are a tuning fork. You can only experience like frequencies. And that's why when you really get these at the core, these are cheat codes on universal laws. So now we're getting the big picture, but even more important, how you, your avatar, your identity can start using these to your benefit. All right, principle number 4 is polarity. We live in a world of duality. So polarity simply is everything has an opposite. So for example, hot, cold, night, day, up, down, left, right, lack, abundance, health, sick. We live in a world of duality, meaning everything you want in your life, you are either closer to one end of the pole. You're closer to unwanted or you're closer to wanted. And this is how I really think of polarity. Am I closer to wanted? Am I closer to unwanted? And you can only experience based on your vibration. So depending on your vibration will depend where you're at on this pole. Abundance, lack. And depending where you are is your state of being, your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits around whatever that circumstance may be. Health, money, success, opportunities, relationships, whatever it is. Everything is in line with polarity. We live in a world of opposites. So you have the power to, number one, become aware where on the pole are you. And by shifting your internal state, these principles, you can move up or down the scale, closer to wanted or closer to unwanted based on your state of being. All right, principle number 5 is rhythm. Think of like the ocean. Everything has tides. Everything flows in and out. So everything flows in and out. Here's how I like to think about this one. Nothing ever lasts. If you're in a bad place, you're going through tough times, nothing ever lasts. So understand the ebbs and flows, the peaks, the valleys, and you've got to learn how to surf your way through the ups and downs of life. Because if you're unable to surf through it, you will be taken under the current and feel like you're drowning, feel like you're drifting. And I see this all of the time. So wrapping your head around rhythm, everything comes in, everything comes out. We have this constant flow and cycle. We literally live in a world of cycles. We have seasons. The moon has cycles. Females have physical cycles. So don't resist the cycles. Understand that they come. It is natural, and you've got to learn when it's time to rest, when it's time to go, when it's time to rest, and when it's time to go. All right, principle number 6 is cause and effect. And this simply states every cause has its effect, and every effect has a cause. I simplify this down to one thing. Your mind is the cause of every effect in your life. A lot of people talk about karma. Watch out for karma. Karma is not good nor bad. It just is. Whatever you put out, life is a boomerang. So the cause, because of mentalism, whatever you put out is the cause, and you create effects. All of the external effects have a cause, bring it back to you. And since most people live in reactive mode, it's like they've fallen asleep at the wheel of life. So you get to choose how you want to live, with intention or in victim mentality, taking your power back, being fully responsible for every effect in your life so you can start changing the cause or keep getting what you don't want. All right, the 7th principle is gender. And then I want to tie these all together. And I'm not talking about male and female biological, but this is about the masculine and feminine energy. And every human has masculine and feminine energy. Here's how I want you to think about it, especially in business. In business, we need masculine energy like systems and structure. And we need that feminine essence of the flow and the creativity. The best way I can explain gender, this masculine and feminine energy, think about a riverbank. If we didn't have riverbank and water was just flowing, it would be complete chaos, right? That's what floods are. But luckily we have the masculine energy creating the riverbank to contain the flow, but then we need the flow, that feminine essence. And when it comes to most people living in that, especially Western culture, that masculine energy, hustle and grind. Too much masculine, if you're living in all masculine energy, leads to stress and burnout. Too much feminine is apathy and not doing anything. So think about it like the yin and the yang. You need both. You need the balance of give and take, do and be. And when it comes to manifestation, your conscious mind is the masculine presence. It has the ideas, the goals, the desires. But the masculine, the conscious mind is impressing on the subconscious, the fertile soil. And it's your subconscious mind that, quote, births your goals and desires. We need everything working together. And at any time things are off balance, it means you're in too much or of one or the other. Now, I want to tie these all together so you have the 7 cheat codes so you can start creating your reality on purpose. Because once you put these into play, again, it's creating that awareness on how you've created your current results in life, in your health, in your finances, in your relationships and business. That life is never happening to you. It is always and only happening through you. So quick recap. Mentalism states all is mind. Consciousness is all there is. Whatever is going on internally, so let's combine these two, mentalism and correspondence. Whatever is going on internally is outpictured into the external world. If you don't like the effects, you have to change the cause, which is the internal state of being. Really, it comes down to changing your identity. Understand everything has a vibration based on your frequency, your state of being. You emit a vibration and you can only attract like vibration. So if you're constantly emitting stress, worry, lack, scarcity, that's all you can experience. Based on the polarity on where you're at, this is what creates contrast in your life. Don't judge it. Your current results, your current effects are simply indicating where you're at on the pole, what your frequency, vibration, and mental states are, and you have the power to move back up based on being mindful and intentional with how you are thinking, the emotions you're feeling, and the actions that you're taking. And remember, it's this fine line of balance, of give and take, of doing and being, because too much of one leads to unwanted results. I would love to know what questions you have around this. Be sure to drop them below. And thanks for tuning in to today's video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you're the first to know when new videos drop. And give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one.